Okay, page Reish Mem Tes. It's talking about Hashem. What's the Indian of Rotten Shlomayim? Because it started at the beginning of this seif. He spoke about Is Rotzen and Vis Rotzen. The two types of Rotzen. There's Rotzen Shlomata Min HaSeichel, the result of the Seichel, Rotzen Shlomayim Min HaSeichel. And then he started talking about Hashem. Avodas Hashem, the Rotzen Shlompi Seichel, that is Boinenus in is Boinenus in Avodas Hashem. Then there's Rotzen Shlomayim Min HaSeichel. We'll see here in page Reish Mem Tes. Shom Escheles, Shom Escheles b'makmach chol ze b'nei R'Dovid Olidort. The person is b'inus, recognize everything is b'nei R'Dovid Olidort and so. She's b'inus chol ze amakas hadas. Shayvov k'tzov etzruch nimegashim telim l'tzov. Who? That's the contemplation. How all the six sides, which would define space. The six sides of everything, top, bottom, and the four sides. Means it reaches the level. This is the Rotzen. I think he's talking about the Rotzen Shlomayim Mitamadas. So you recognize this. So that evokes in him a rotzen v'chevetz, a will and desire, and soft to connect the atzmus k'meshikos of midah b'shemayim l'chavatzi ba'oretz. Famous for the Alter Rebbe. But here it says Shemayim tam nogim ochnim. Moi ba'asog es kai gav. The oretz anogim gash kol ze lechafatzti. Rag dovka ba'izborch. So what is the difference? Earlier in the Maimar I explained that in Lamata Masechel there are two levels. There's something called the Rotzen Shlamata Ma'amidas, Shlamata Masechel, and then there's the Midas. There's a stage between the Sechel and the Midas which is called the Rotzen, which is also called Das. This is the interface, the intermediate between the Sechel and the Midas, and then there's the Midas themselves. So he said, so the way he described it earlier, the way it is Nefesh Adam, the Midas are that you love something that makes you feel good, and you're afraid of something that makes you feel bad. That's the Midas putting itself. Rotzen is something that controls it. That's why to the Rotzen you can want something just opposite. Let's say like about a dogma from Yehuda Chosich says a Shulchan Aruch. I just brought it in the group. The WhatsApp group that says the used to fast on Shabbos. Now, the nature of the person is that he wants to eat, and the Ratzon controls it. So that's what Tumadreges Matmasech, Ratzon and Midas. That's what he spoke earlier in Nefesh Adam. Now in Chotz Igul, he's going to talk how it works in Avodas Hashem. What's the Midas? What's the difference? The difference is a very subtle difference in the Yachas. In the Yachas to Rikus. The Midas, the law, which is called Mido, Shakiras, and the Kim Litoif. The feeling of godliness is good for him. He feels himself, he feels his own ego, his own need. He has the drive, the desire to get the early key for himself. That's why that makes him to want to understand the Likus Lamato in his own reality. So that's the madriga of Midas in Avodas Hashem, which is a below. That means his being, his ego, his emotions are the focus, and he wants to fulfill the need of the emotion. That is the union of the Midah. But there's not of itself. It doesn't get on really, if you think about it, it's quite it's hard to understand what it means really, because what do you mean? How can you want something? It's anything is around you. So it's a deeper level of beetle. How much of your ego is involved? One is to benefit himself, tevas atzmai, ergesh atzmai, it's about himself. And the second, the higher matter, the rotzen, that's not ein ergesh atzmai, velikus mitzad velikus. When you shachavs dovko isbar, shachavs velikus mitzad atzmai. You want a likus mitzad atzmai. You want you have the drive to the Eberster should to be consumed by likus, not that you are the getting something out of it. זה מילים השמיים. מילים חלפתי בארץ, מילים השמיים גל בתענוגים רוחנים, אני בעסק הסלקות, שבזה מלא רגיל. It doesn't want tainugim. So tainugim ruchnim, that is like a sagas atzmai. He wants the geschmack. He wants the light that derives from the gilelikus. Kiim pnelikus. What does he want? He doesn't want his own tainug. He wants a likus. Ein shater chachmas is utzain is baruch bezem is kashem nit begever chachmas is baruch beter bezer chafetz. He doesn't want the geschmack shebazeh. He doesn't want the asag, but he wants the fact that he connects to the Eibishter. Zeh ma shekos ba'abil. Konkret chuppos, he jumps into the Kabbalah language. The Maimel called Bil and the Maimel called chuppos. Shezeh pnes keser dezos. So that's called. We said earlier we called it Ratzon Shemaim Namidus. He calls it the Kabbalah keser dezos, which is the same concept. It's the Ratzon which is above the Namidus. V'ayna ba'avodah Bil pnes ha'ava be'ergesh atzmai kim tzedel likus. And it's not ergesh atzmai, but mitzad halikus. Zeu sherotzim pnimis hamidas. I'm shkos adam nemet tzarichet. That I don't remember what says tzarichet. Dinim pnimis hava. So earlier on the first emshach portion, is discussing pnimis hava. It's a deeper level of ava. In ava guf, there are two levels of ava. I mean, we speak about it sometimes in this concept of ava and love. So one level of love is to make yourself. It makes you feel good. Love means I love being the nerav makes you feel good. That's the chitzonius. That's the chitzonius av. The pnimius av. It's not about yourself. You just want the etzem of the oiv. It's like you connect to the essence. I'm sure how it works. Moiken be'ir barachim. Similar to the way it is in Ava, it's also in Ir barachim in the same way. Akel loy mitadatzin mitzad halikus. So that is the meaning in Avodah of Ratzon Shelamayla min Amidus. The lost seichel, we're not talking about the Ratzon Shelamayla min Seichel. Talking about Ratzon the result of his beinus. But what the beinus brings you is not that you want kivasakim litov, not about your own benefit, but you want pashtal likus mitzadatz. Is that okay? Now the next step is that's the natural thing, but there's a way that does more than that. That the Ratzon makes sure that the midas in the world of the midas they should also have leia geshatz. So what's the difference? Midas and TV. And a loy teva etzman nefesh. Midas means the way nature of the person is defined. That's his nature. The nature is that something that makes you feel good, you want it. Something that doesn't make you feel good, you don't want it. You're afraid of it. You run away from it. So like teva etzman nefesh, not talking about etzman nefesh. Means teva the way the person is defined, the human being is defined that this is the nature. That's called like you said yesterday. Midas TV, the natural drive, we call it instinctive. It's instinctive. What is the meaning of seichel? What is the meaning of intellect? Shloili is TV and la'atzmi. Like just in simple tones. Seichel means when you proper seichel is an objective observation. You put yourself aside. If you're involved emotionally, not objective, it's about you. But seichel means that you put yourself aside and you just observe the thing as is, in an objective way. כי הוא גר דיבר קודם, ששתי מדרגות בהות, יצרוצן שזה למעלה מעשר, זאת שלמת מעשר, שזה ממוצע בין השכל למידס, זה נקרא כסר דזו, זו זה מידס, זה כסר דזו, זה הרוצן. רגע, עוד לא הגיע למצווה, נגיע למצווה יותר מאוד. לא, הרי מצווה אין ציור. מצווה זה... חדש. כן. אני שומע אותך, כן. נגיע למצווה. אז רק פה, קודם כמה הוא אמר שיש רוצה הוא דיבר על שם, זה אמר ככה, רגע, מה אמר המצווה? רוצה שעל פי שכל, אומר שהרוצן הזה יש בו שתי מדרגס. כשהרוצן הזה שאנחנו מדברים עליו פה, גסר זאת, זה two מדרגס in it. He said earlier in page ראשון חס. יש בייס מבחינת, הרוצן על פי השכל, לא דיבר קודם על הרוצן של המיילו. ההסכם, כן, גם דיבר על הרוצן של המיילו. ברוצן גוף יש שתי מדרגס, איך שהשכל מצויר בוי, זה נקרא דס, ואיך שהוא נראה הסכם, שזה הרוצן פשוט. יש שתי מצווה של מעלה מהשכל, זאת אומרת, במצווה של מעלה מהשכל, אז יש הטעם ועונג, טעם ועונג זה גשמק, מצווה זה נקרא שזה הסכם בלבד, הסכם של מעלה מהשכל, והרוצן של מעלה מהשכל זה גם, יש את הפרט, השכל שבו, אז זה לא נקרא מצווה, יש בזה ציר, ואחר כך יש את ההסכם, שהסביר את זה קודם, בהסכם הזה אין בזה חייס וספיילס, לכן זה נקרא מצווה. כן, כן, זה כסר דזו. לא, כסר אין? לא. למה אתה חושב? אוקיי, בסדר. במצווה גוף, מצווה זה המדרגה של הכסר, כשהכסר לא קשור לשכל של המעלה. ככה הוא מסבר פה. כן, כסר זה, כי זה לפני שזה ירד למידה, זה למעלה, מעל המיץ. אבל זה, אבל זה גם שכל, אוקיי, בסדר, יכול להיות זה פשוט. זוקת על זה, שהשכל של
מה זה לא טבע עצם הנפש?
What? עצם הנפש, is עצם הנפש, that's not teva. עצם הנפש is the essence of the soul. You're talking about teva and tzio. The nefesh is already in the tzio from Esa Koyches, and it has its own definition. It has its instinctive reaction. Within that, teva means that's the way it is. You want Lo teva etzem nefesh, because etzem nefesh is higher than all these things. Etzem nefesh is higher than Otzen. You're talking about teva in a lower grade. Teva, the way the nefesh expresses itself, so there's a teva. See what the teva of the nefesh is that, like we said earlier, that sheroitzet bedavo shetoiv lefanov, and they runs away from something which is not toiv lefanov. That's the nature. That's the instinctive nature. It's not etzem nefesh. So that is the Indian seichel that you escape your own ego, escape your own emotional emotional constraints, and you're just the objective. That's seichel. Okay, all right, we can. Yeah, true. That's a very good point. That all these madrigas, all madrigas in Beetle. It's all madrigas in Beetle that I guess only a person who davens a lot can reach it, maybe. But I don't know, practical terms. But the truth, Mitzad Sheni, all this is expressed in small acts of behavior. It's sometimes whenever we step out of ourselves, whenever we do something which is against our nature. It's in a way an expression of this level, but here we speak about a person who actually reaches that state of mind. That's not madrigatake. In practical terms, each time in our life, we put in a state that we have to do something which is against our nature, which is against our natural instinct. That's an expression of that madrig. I can't imagine it in our mind, but in the practice, everybody to a degree. Sometimes has that. You're talking about the difference between Agish Mitzad Atzma and Mitzad Elikus. It's a very subtle difference. In Cain, yeah, again, it's you. Cain, what's about Mida? Cain Chayma V'tzor. Now is another dogma of what's in Mida.
Even if you daven, are you reaching this level? Even if a person is davening, are you reaching this level?
I'm not saying, I don't know. I mean, since Chassidus wants to elevate us, to teach us that such things exist in Indian. Hopefully, somebody sometimes manages to get some taste of it. Even the fact that he knows, like in Tanya, the answer told us is Tanya Perek Yud Zayin. lo yaso. You recognize that it's possible. That's already a madriga. You recognize in your mind that there is, in theory, there's such a possibility. That's already lo yaso. That's the okay. כן, לא, עד שמגיע. כן, כל זה מגיע לרוצן יותר נמוך. אחר כך יגיע לרוצן יותר גבוה. עכשיו. לא התחיל, אבל עכשיו הולך חזרה. Yeah. Okay, now what's okay, now he has another language, the midas is like chaimer v'tzura. The midas is like the chaimer, the matter, and the rotzen that's above it controls it. That's tzura. She is gabos atzura la chaimer shazeu ikar b'edem kemius. Okay, the time so the Rebbe Rashab throws in a very important yesod, a very important foundational concept. That Yitzura, the form, which means the spirit, should control the chayma. So that's an important point. Yeah, that gufen, that's good. Chayma means that me. Surah means the Indian, that the truth. The truth should control me. So all this is Madrigas and Ratzon Shalom Ma'ila Mata Mitam Das. Ratzon Shalom Ma'ila Mitam Das. Who Ratzon Atzmi. It's even higher. That now we come to etzem and the shama. Earlier said not that. It's a higher level in that gufa. Like we just said, even this lower level we don't know what it means practicing. Now it takes us to a higher place, which is that's a manefesh. Shalamayla, right? But even that can be reached to a level of his beinanus. Why do we need his bonus? It's there, but we have to ignite it. It's not that this bonus is not the source of it. It's just a trigger that opens up. And it's also called avarab. Let's look at the kids of the Shri Kabba's kids on page Tov Samach Vov. Very big kitzer. The Kabbalah writes second kitzer. Yuvaya the East Rotzen Shalamata Masechel Gam Ulamaila and Amit. The first Madrigan Rotzen is Rotzen Shalamata Masechel Saman. Rotzen Atzen Shalamata Masechel. Shemistalek Asechel from the Lord. Oh yes, Heinek from the Rotzen. Or Rotzen Prince Chitzen is that Mulvat. So this thing of Eskem. The mitzvah, that's the kshemistalik, when the source of the rotzen is mistalik, that's called that's metzach. Metzach means like the forehead that we don't in the forehead we don't see the difference. Like it says, I said the always brings the Gemara in meidim parts of ponim chaytem. The way you recognize a person is only from the nose down, but the forehead. The person is not recognizable. So that's an expression of something which the tzir is not there, the seichel is not there, the einig is not there. Sad metzach mailas eskem toikem. V'yob idugma chol no ba'avodah. He doesn't tell us in avodah. We spoke about the madrigas and ava. The ava comes mitzad this bindus in the Davish to create the beetle, the lower level of beetle, the higher level of beetle. So that is the madrigas.
Even the Prince Chitzenius is also what's an Atzmi Shalamayla Ma'aseichel.
Depends which. It's a two madrigas. There's a chitzenius of the rotzen shalamata, and there's a chitzenius. The two madrigas. There's two eskem, two mitzchem. That's why we speak about the Bible. Two levels of mitzchem. Mitzchem the zah, mitzchem the atik. The heskem that's a result of the rotzen shalamata minaseichel, and the heskem the result of the rotzen shalamata minaseichel. There's two levels in mitzchem, two levels in heskem. Both of them are chitzenius. Heskem means chitzenius. Heskem means the practical commitment. To result of the rotzen. V'hinei not like the talks better more in Avodas Hashem. Is galus hamechel misparas hamidas rak beisat tefillah. Practically speaking, when does this happen in our life? When is the mechel and the midas happen? That's tefillah. When a person davens, it means davening is the time of the day when a person concentrates and is investing himself in this. Misbeinos is ben salikim misar ba'avalikus. Sha'otza in hu beispiles tzhuka gedoyle b'ri b'chai saliki. Then you have this madrigas of the rots. But the rest of the day after davening, the person is occupied with the mundane stuff, which is you're allowed to do it. It's not the pshat we have to stay away from the world. We have to do it. But at that stage, after davening, you cannot be constantly, your mind and heart should be occupied with this bonus out here. Now it tells us something really powerful. Even people sit and learn all day, even people that is their occupation. While he learns Gemara, that's, while he learns Torah, he cannot at the same time be misbein and godless Hashem. Agam Shavesa Katara Day show Chachmas Eretz, but even though while he learns, he realizes and recognizes and knows that this is the Eibishter's wisdom. Huh? Pambasha, okay. Mikol Lo Yesh B'Nes Ispailos.
Yosef was always Yosef.
Yosef HaTzadik, even B'Shas Iske B'Cheshbeinos, yeah, but that's Madriga, it's a high Madriga, for this goal. Yeah, it says kosher. Okay. Achmisha teros. Now Hagav says. So that is, he's going to say that's the enough eskim. But he jumps ahead before. He says achmisha teros nosef. Bichlal amiskash of dog yater in a shiur of this eskim bilvad. But it's still a difference. In this Chatz Eagle, he says it before he finishes the sentence. Finish the sentence, but before that he says, really, stuck it true that the person davens, we learned the whole day, is not in that level that he's b'shas at tefillah, but still he says, he's still not in a very plain level of eskem, because in reality is since his occupation is umnasai is Torah, so he's he's removed from worldly things and he's separated from them. But still, when we learn Torah, that feeling, that excitement of connecting to the Eibishter doesn't exist when we learn Torah. But there are whole Adam. Hashem, okay, he goes back to whole Adam. He says these people are Yechidus Gula, but the average person, everything is Hashem betfilah is bonus by spies. So the general point is that during the day, after davening, not during the day. The point is after davening, after you don't have that same level of his bonus and his spilas and his kashas and dveikus. All these madrigas don't exist. Oh, Sekva. Okay. Said okay. I know every much stomach. Yeah. No. No, but this says that's Gemara says Potam in that fila bichlal. Okay, it says two things. Bichlal amiskash of the same madrigas in the Alzas. What's the game?
Torah should bring you higher than Tefillah is bringing you.
Yeah. So what happens? That the whole day is state of mind, a state of connection to the Eibishter is in a way of eskim, commitment. That in practical terms is a from Jew that he does what the Eibishter wants from him. Some I say type. But the aim is spies for chayes. There's no koch. There's no spies. Eskim bilvad. No, my heskem b'teikim. On the other hand, the heskem b'teikim. Ki yatzet chazak bali tamut b'teikim God. It's a very strong, very powerful commitment. Moi bagash mis basic vasumato. So that's a marshal. Also, not a common marshal. Brings a marshal from our life in general in business. Basically, the person is in business. Shapam is point number the first when you go into business, when you start a business and start a job. You think about it, I should travel from the basic. It's good to open the business because it's good. So you think about, hey, it's a good idea to open a business, to go to get a job, and you want it, and you're driven to do it. Throughout life, when when you run your business, you don't constantly think about, hey, why did I do it? What? You just know that this is your life already at this point. The mele, רק ההסכם. מה? כן, שכחת כבר, צריך לרצות, נובוס, רק ההסכם שהוסכם בו חודש לכך. והרי מצד ההסכם, הרי אויס es המשא ומתן, but still, that הסכם, the fact that he made the decision, that's what he's going to do with his life, he's going to do this business, he's going to do this job, that makes him committed to the job. שאין שום דבר מנהס. Let's say today I have a job, I have a business. Today there's too much snow, there's too much, there's too hot, whatever. That's why I'm not going to go. No such thing. The beginning of my Rabim, Lamed Vov, the Maharaj, the whole arichas of people for business. Pasha, nefesh. He got to the water, he got overseas. Okay, so here he says it in two words: Kilkol Adochim. The fact that there's something that stays in your way is not going to. You're committed to do your job. You're committed to your business. You know that you made that decision. It's an interesting marshal. Because the nimshal kamaykim ba'avodas is similar in avodas Hashem. She'eskim chazak b'sum harav asaytei bli shum nivik. See, after he made it, the commitment, see, nothing is going to interfere. Kamaykim ba'avarab. Okay, now he jumps. Okay, yeah, it's a good marshal. Yeah. Okay. Kamaykim ba'avarab. Ma? Nahon? לא זוכר לא זכור לי, very uncommon muscle, but it's an interesting good muscle. Okay. כמו כן בהעברה, but now it's now, in other words, till now he goes back to the nimshal. So first he spoke about the rotzen shel mata mitam v'das. That is bonus that he have during davening, and that is pilus from the rotzen shel mata mitam v'das, mata min ha-seichel, shel alidei ha-seichel. That dissipates, and you only have the heskim left. Now it takes us to the higher level, the mitzvah, the achik. Make him ba'ava rabba. The person who reaches ava rabba in davening that's real. Madrigas in tzaddikim. That's a person who reaches such a high level of ava, which is l'mala mitam v'das, etzem aneshama, like you said earlier. Even that, the base had feel of pnimis, or rotzim etayk, or rotzim eschayis v'ainik. Person who does reach that stage, again, doing davening, that ava rabba is an extreme, in a very deep way, and he has geschmack, and he has a koch, and he has the tainuk. That's a chiddush, because we don't know these people anyway who have avarabba. Says even the avarabba, that also cannot continue throughout the day. So the result of that level of rotzen, which is rotzen shamayim naseichel, the mesiras nefesh, the person reaches a madrig of avarabba. So even that also cannot be with him throughout the day. From that itself, it only has the chitzonis, which is the external manifestation of that level, of that ava. So both of these are called mitzvah, like we said. So we started the mimer with das. What das means? He says that he said in the beginning of the mimer that in the way the physical body is, that the metzach, the forehead, is mechuven, is what do you call it? It's parallel to the das, which is in the back of the head. So that rotzah, which is mitzvah, is mechuven keneged das, mechuven das. Sheyesh b'teku God k'may b'das, because das also has that strength. Ki nimshach min hadas, v'ayne mittekev al hachodesh al hadas, al deizeh tekev heskem. In other words, that heskem, we spoke about how does it operate in real life to the level of das. If lo yeh b'chinas hadas, lo yeh mitchila ha'rotzim b'tekev. May lo yeskem klal k'deboy l'shemkim. רק על ידי הדס, רק על ידי הדס, שעל ידי דווקא רוצים ב'tekev v'esatfil. He says the das is the thing that made. In other words, the mitzvah is a reflection of the das. In davening, in order to reach the madrega of, like you said earlier, the chachma, the moich
1 minute, 1 minute. We're working out the problem. Listen. Okay.
Okay. Gilui Adas, also as far as canal. All this brings the the level of Ratzon, which is mitzvah, which is the union of Heskem, which is after davening. Do because Milo now he goes to talk about the way it is. All right. So now he's going to describe the way it is in the spheres of Milo. The Zopness. מה?
הרעיון הזה שרוצה להגיד כרגע, זה ההסכם חזק של ידי
כן.
זה רעיון הזה היה בעצם בפרק הקודם.
כן, נכון.
Will Miley have all these feelings and
No.
It's like a computer.
No, it's not.
That's Das puzzle. You can't change it.
It's not pshat. Lamaila means that when we talk about Lamaila, it's a mashal that was similar to what we experienced. That is the level of yachas of the Eibishter to us, similar to the way the human being experiences it. But it's not the concept of feeling doesn't apply there. It's just it's a level of gilui. That's what it is. It's just a mashal on the level of gilui. Because even Lamaila, the Zoh has 6 sides, like you said, Chesed through his side. Yes, but and the Zoh says Meichen. Rakshem Pnas Meichen the Katas. Meichen has Zoh on its own, the Meichen of Zoh, the level of Meichen that Zoh gets, called Meichen the Katnus, meaning that it's diminished. Agdola Sazon, then there's a concept of the Kabbalah. It says Agdola, the Zoh is becoming a God, maturity was made, and never Meichen the Gadlus, the Meichen Begilui. So when that's a concept in Kabbalah that there's something called Nimshar by Meichin the Gadlus, that the Meichin are drawn into Zoh, Meirin by Meichin Begilui, the other Midas of Gadlus. Then the Zoh, the Midas of Zoh is also in a way of state of God. When the Meichin are mistalk, also Midas and Leipnes Gilui. So there's two ways the Zoh operates. There's on its own, when it's talking a Meichin is Katnus, which is called Leipnes Gilui, and then there's Gadlus Meichin. Also, Pchinas Mitzvah. So that is the meaning of Mitzvah. Like I said before, that Mitzvah represents that there's no Gilui. עדיין, הבחינת סרוט זה, הבחינת תפארת דאימא, שנת כסר לזו, ראית, פה מביא אותם כסר לזו. So the כסר לזו, that's תפארת דאימא, that's the body of Aimam is the מייכין. נעשה כסר לזו, הרי באיש שמאירין המייכין מבחינת גילר, אבל כאשר המייכין מסתלקן, זה עוד החמש, כמות שבחינת הסכם בלבד. The כסר itself, the כסר of זו also, is 2 ways. There's way when there is Beis when the meichen, when the teferet de'ima is Beis Galus, then it's called, then it's not mitzvah, then it's das, I guess, and when it's mistalik, it's only mitzvah. Eskem bilvad. Moshe Meister said, "She'em b'zegiloi." Zepnes mitzvah dezah. Meiken the Arichanpin similar to that. It's also in the higher madrig and the Arichanpin. Arichanpin is in Kesser. Also, there's the mitzvah. I mean, the Lashon in Zohar is mitzvah da'atika, but he over here, this thing is Archanpin. See, I was going to say Archanpin is the opposite of Ze'eranpin. Ze'er is Ze'er katnus. It's called Ze'eranpin. It's small, small Anpin Ze'irin. The face is small, which represents that concept that Meichin the cat, it's like a child, immature. And Meichin the gas, Arichan is a long face, it's a big face, representing the concept of maturity, godless. So in Arichan and Guf is also, Prinus Sorot, Pnimis for Hitzonis. The Rots of Arichan also has two levels. Pnimis Sorot, James Gila in Kasha, Tam, Vatainu, Gundel, as a Pnimis Hitzonis Sorot. That we said earlier. Same concept. It repeats the same idea in different language that when מה? לא יודע מה מחדש פה. אוקיי, מוסיף קצת נקודות. כמו שאומר, זה די, brings in the Gemara, כמו שאומר, שתי ככה לא מחשוב, זה כמו רוצן בלי טעם. So the פנימיס רוצן is שתי ככה לא מחשוב. When Moshe Rabbeinu said, Rabbi Akiva, ודות שסוקס פסורי, so on one hand, stoik means there's helem, there's no gilir, but all of machshava. Machshava means tam, say, means just tam, that's tam komus. Be'emes, kamoy rotzen blei tam, be'emes yesh b'ze tam komus. Actually, nelam, mashma bizgas, mashma rotzen. So that's the concept of the heskem, of the mitzchot, that's called chitzenis rotzen. שיש בזה טעם, עכשיו טעם נלה, והוא כמו הסכם לבד, שכך אוסכם לסרות. זה פלס מצחא דעתיק. So it jumps from Arich to Atik. Okay. So I guess the interessant, Friedrich said Arich and then Atik, okay. I'm not sure how the puzzle fits exactly. In general idea, the case are the two levels, the Chitzonis and the Pnimius, and in the Pnimius Gufa, there's the Mitzchah Da'atika, which is the Chitzonis of the Einek. באמס, באריגס, הרבקיבה, שסוקס פסורית, והשי, לא בכתר זאת סחורי, גדוי לא היא, צריך לי... מה אתה אומר?
סלט עם העריך ואת?
כן, קצת סלט. אוקיי, צריך לחשוב על זה. חיזותר, וזו סחור, גדוי לי, the shaila is a very good question. צריך לא אמר, he says, דעודר, סעד הדעים שאתה דו such a thing, צריך ממוס say... זה מה שאומר פה?
שום בחינת סרק.
אבל הוא אומר, יש בזה בחינת ספצן, אתה רוצה להגיד לי שער, מתכוון להגיד שער, זה המצווה של העתיק, אוקיי, בסדר, אוקיי. צריך לפתוח את הספרים, לראות מה, יש עוד איזה, כל הדברים האלה, המושגים קצת לא ממש תקועים, מרובעים ככה. חיזות תרב זו סחור, now he's saying an extreme powerful thing. והשאר דרך זכר גדולי, צריך לא, מוזוג, we must say, שהרי בזה תיינו גוד למעלה, מבחינת עינק פנימי ועצמי. Impossible, that able to do such a thing, unless there's much ועצמי. רק שנלם, ועל the other hand, שטויק, שנלם, אי אפשר לסגר למטה, ויסגר זה כמו רוצם בלי טעם, שזה נקרא מצחם, שנראה כמו עסק מבד, בלי טעם בעינק. Fine, no. So now he says, what the rots and the mitzvahs are there, Marshall. The rots and the mitzvahs, fat, the rots are better, near the nigger, but that time we're in, except the pnimis rots. So the rots of mitzvahs, pnimis rots. Because you see the pnimis, you see time we're in. The rots are very about kive, a gam shares we're in, a milo. How is a chitzonis rots? Okay, I'll read the Chatzigel in a sec. The truth is, he's saying you something which usually, again, it's a little the opposite of what you'll do. Usually, when you think about it, we always say, forget, say this thoughts and something that we can understand. Pnimius is deeper, can't understand, right? Here he says the opposite. He says the chitzonis thoughts ain't like tam. Pnimius yesh tam. It's almost like geschmack. So I mean, it's not. It makes sense, but it's the language used is different than standard. Nice, ma. Yeah. מה? זה יותר?
גוטו של מעלה מהטעם זה יותר משהו.
זהו.
יאללה אומר דבר שלא כתוב, לא. שרוצה שתהיה מעלה מהטעם. תגובה מטעם. אלא להפך, שרוצה מטעם, זה תגובה מטעם.
זה מה שכתוב פה.
פה. כלומר שפעם היה ביטוי של הרב בלוק,
You hear what he's saying? The Rebbe once said, "Like a Tos Olam." The Tos Olam we just said, Tos Olam is the Torah Shalom Ma'alim Atam is higher. Shalom Atam, Apitam is lower. So the Rebbe said, "Like a Tos Olam." The truth is, like it says in this Maimon, Torah Shalom Apitam is deeper because that expresses the Ebershter's connection to us more.
Tos Olam זה מה שמובן, כל הזמן פה.
מזה מבין מה זה Olam. Olam, the Olam sagt, המקדש darunter geht von der Riber, der Olam. Der Olam also, schon ja der Olam.
הנקודה היא שטוב זה כמו בדוסה של...
כן, בדוסה של רבש, עוד רבש. של בלוי, כן, כמובן. באו עונג פנימי יסר. So he says, the עונג פנימי יסר, the Riber הכיר, יש בזה עונג למעלה, עונג פנימי יסר. כידוע בדלו הסמן דעשור הגוי מחס או עד ביאס משיח. What he's saying is that the says in Kabbalah that the Mesiras Nefesh Asor Malchus had such a strong effect, it gives us highest until Mashiach comes. Everything we have, every koyach we have to stay Jewish, to stay alive, to stay what we are, is a result of the Mesiras Nefesh. Yeah. The Mesiras Nefesh of the Asor Malchus. I mean, it's true that practical. We always say practically to them. Why do we survive? Because of this nefesh of our grandparents. It's a practical application. But he says l'mayla and our lost man, the effect in the Olam Yenim was so strong that it affected us other year. Yeah, kitzel. Shin samach ches. Sorry, tov samach vov.
Could you say it also about our time, like the Holocaust?
I'm not Kabbalah. The Kabbalah talks about Sorge Malchus. No,
about that this is the Pnimi Yisorotzim.
What? No, it says Chitzon Yisorotzim.
No, that there is the Oineg. The Oineg.
Yeah, the Oineg. Pnimi Yisor. Look, who are we to talk about the Holocaust? But I mean, sagt weiter, page Tov Samach Vav, he says the Kitzur number 3, very short. The Friedrich Pnimi Yisorotzen is Galus HaMeichim. Pnimi Yisorotzen is when there's Galus HaMeichim. The Meichim is Galus. With Pilus Hamidus, Amy had feel. Both of them, the Galus HaMeichim, it's only in davening. Kol Hayom Rak Esker. Dugma L'chol Anal L'maylo. The Dugma of all this is L'maylo, the Kesser of Zohar, the Arich Anpin, the Kesser of Mitzvah. It's very bekitzer. Okay. Okay, now he's taking us back to the Zohar that the Maimon started with. Maimon said that 2 levels in Mitzvah. Mitzvah, the Zohar, Dinin Misari, that creates the Chavdalet Batei Dinin. Mitzvah, the Arichantin, Mitzvah, the Atika, Mishtachim Kol HaDinin. Mishtachim means the Dinim get calmed down, like Hamas HaMelech Shachocha. What are the tomatrikas? What is the pshat in it? The inner noimrim saying davening avina overach. The Evesh called the Evesh avina overach. What does it mean? Avina prinas chachma. Avina is madrig of chachma. It says in Tanya Perek Gimel. The chachma makar chasadim. Chachma is the source of chesed. Well, the mashal. That's an interesting mashal also. Adam be'eish shemer begila chachma v'aseichel yachal kavach ifuch. What does chesed? Chesed means that you're in a mode, in a state of giving, that you're nice to people around you. Why? Because you're open to them, even if they are the opposite of you, if they contradict you, you're nice to them. You don't stand on your own opinions. So that's chesed. He says, the person is in a state that his intellect is shining, is in an intellectual state. He can also accept someone who opposes him. Because seichel by definition is so wide and has so much breadth, he can find an explanation for his opposition. What we call in the modern language devil's advocate. You can find an explanation to someone who you disagree, but you say, I understand why you feel that way. You understand why you think that way. That's inside a seichel.
But it's not chesed.
Yeah, he calls it chesed. He calls it chesed. He calls it chesed. Chesed means kindness because you're accepting. For example, you have the ability to find merit in someone who's guilty. Because the reason of the shiur, why did you find him guilty at that time? There was a logical reason that he found him guilty. Okay, it's the same way. In his mind, he can find an explanation, a reason, a logical explanation why he should find that he's innocent, he's not guilty. If the other person is guilty not because of logic, no matter how many logical reason, how much reasoning it'll bring to find them innocent, it's not going to help. אבל כאשר חייב על פי השכל יוכל נמצא גם כן שכל סבל צחוק. תשמע, זה הכל משל. זה משל, בוא נראה איך זה עובד. זה רק משל. זה משל. כן, אוקיי, אפשר להסביר את זה, אבל פה בוא נראה איך הוא מגיע. נראה לאן הוא הולך עכשיו. אבל כאשר על פי שכל, going back and forth. אבל כשחייב על פי שכל, איך נמצא גם כן שכל רעי לזכות. שכל סבל צחוק. זהו שמצד מרחב השכל יוכל לקבל המנהגת. That is also when a person has a open mind, so he can accept the position.
That's discussing.
1 second, we'll get to the chesed in a minute. אבל כשהשכל מסתלק ונשאר רק ההסכם לבד, that's what's negate השכל. When the seichel is removed, and you're only stuck to the final conclusion of the seichel. He's not thinking about it anymore. The seichel is gone. Now he's only asking. Now he's only in a state. This is what I made a decision. I'm stuck to my decision. Then he made a decision a certain way, and he's committed to a certain way of life, a certain way of understanding something. He can accept any opposition. No explanations, no excuses will help. Now he's in that stage. That's how he decided things should be. But he can't argue. Okay, so general point what he's making here is that Chachma, again, Chachma, like he said here, that the Chayr and other places considers Lavdavka Chachma, sometimes it's been Seichel in general creates chesed, creates a state of, but Moichin in general allows the opposite. It's open. It's kind. Aval, but when the Seichel is gone, so then the Heskem is there. So then you don't have any more the Madrega. You don't have any more the potential of understanding the Menagets. It's not Chesed. It's more Gvur. More Atinoi Shemali Dini Magvur. It's a child, an immature child. Seichel is not there. His intellect is not the control. Lo yoyel me'uma. Miskayes mitzkatzev ma'oid ala oitzaypach etzayin. He gets angry. And anybody who does something against him. Really, it's a result of the fact that he's immature. In other words, his intellect is not fully developed. An adult whose mind is open and wide, the fact that somebody opposes him doesn't bother him so much. And he's not going to be angry at him. But he can find in his mind a way to understand him. So all this is a mashal. Mashal and Heskem versus the mitzvah. Remember, he said the mitzvah is the Heskem. Shalachar is beinus. Michael mean in the Heskem, so that in a person in the state of Heskem, you cannot accept the opposite. So that's the meaning of dinim, really. Movement the zel the meichen the katnus. It's not just they don't accept the opposition. The fact that somebody opposes you makes you angry. It affects you. You're affected by his opposition. It's not that you're indifferent. you're affected by it. The godless, it's another point. When the person is in a state of the godless, the full maturity, he's not bothered by the fact that someone opposes his opinion. So that's the point. That the fact that you're angry shows that you're affected. You know, we always say if someone is when you talk to someone, he's angry, he argues back, that means he's affected. Eventually you'll come around. So that's in the middle of explaining why mitzvah dezo dinin misari. That's about that hemshich. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow.